Good morning, everyone. September 27th, 2018. I'm here at the Root. It ain't worth it. The only black woman in Vermont State House resigns after sustained racial harassment. Boy, oh boy. Us crackers, we're constantly harassing poor, innocent victims out of their jobs. This is the young lady that they are referring to who resigned from Vermont, what was it? State House. And she is the only black woman to have achieved such a feat. So, she claims that she resigned her position because of sustained racial harassment. Now, you might recall for a good chunk of 2018, there have been many claims made about white people writing graffiti, that kind of stuff. And every single time, and I mean every single time, it turned out to be wrong. They turned out to be fucking liars. And I suspect that this individual here is a fucking liar right along with them. Well, why do I say that? And let me first say, I totally agree. Okay, I agree that black people are treated fucking terribly in jails and prisons. Totally agree. But what I don't agree with is the fact that you ignore white people are treated exactly the same in these places. And sometimes worse. Okay? So I'm not denying that that you're treated like shit in jail and prisons, but when you're out and about in overall society, you don't get. And look, I'm out in public a lot, but what I do see is if, let's say for example, we need to go to the laundromat, right? Blankets won't fit into the washer dryer. Go to laundromat to wash your blankets, sheets, and that kind of thing. This happened to me recently. And I go in there, I smile at everyone, I say hi, and they just give me the dirtiest fucking looks. No. And that's when I realized that what people are saying is true. That white people are looked at as an enemy to everybody else. Now, white people, the thing about us is this. If a Mexican, does something wrong, he will get total support from their community. Black person, same thing. And I'll give you an example of this. There's a guy that ended up being shot for burglarizing someone's home. And the sister gets on TV and says, well, he has to make money somehow. And the comment section was filled with people who agreed with this idiotic idea that somehow it's okay for black people to break into white people's homes and steal their shit so they can make a living, right? And when he did so, he ended up dead. And they want to put the blame in the lap of the victim, the actual victim, not the guy that got shot because he was victimizing someone, but the person who whose house was broken into. So, in a short but sweet Facebook post, Morris explained that she originally planned to complete her term which ran through 2019 but deferred to Family Matters, in addition to citing continued harassment, which she charges local police have not been responsive to. Now, if you're a person, a crazy person who calls the police over everything, guess what's going to happen? They're going to stop responding, and God damn it, I can hang myself for defending these pigs, but here I am. If you cry wolf so many times, people are not going to take you seriously. That's why I don't put red alert on any of my videos, because I know the chances are that what's going on is going to change, and that red alert was raised for nothing at all. Continued harassment. Now she talks about how her husband needs open heart surgery. But she says, we face continued harassment and seek legal remedies to the harm endured. And she goes on to talk about how there was a home invasion in her house. Now, I went to Google and I looked. Black Americans, oh, wrong one. Home invasion of Vermont House Representative. And I had a plural there. Let's see if it comes. No, it doesn't. It doesn't come up any different. So, and there's not a fucking single article. Not a single article that shows that she's been home invaded. And then she goes on to talk about how there were swastikas carved into trees in the woods by her house. Ooh, oh my God, not that, right? So, how can anybody take any of these claims seriously when the year 2018 was riddled with black people making false accusations against white people? And most of them were police, but nonetheless. And I have a problem with making false accusations against police, because when you do that, the real accusations get ignored. You know, the real ones, where people end up dead. So, but I find it kind of strange how you can't find, in a Google search, black Americans making false racism allegations. Now I've scrolled through many pages here. I've gone all the way up to 9, okay? And there's not a single story. Well, let me take that back. There's a couple. There's one about the Navy kid, but they justify his actions because he's a victim. Now, everybody is a victim, aren't they? Everybody who isn't white are victims of white people. It ain't the fact that you didn't take the time to develop your minds, no, or or a skill that's desirable to society overall. No. It's all white people. It's all our fault. We did it to you. So, you keep making these accusations like this. How can anybody treat you with any kind of seriousness? Just because you say something happened doesn't mean it happened. There's no proof whatsoever that this woman's home was home invaded by whites, and those swastikas on those trees, if they even exist, doesn't necessarily mean they were meant for her. So, the Vermont Attorney General's office is currently investigating the threats. The 42-year-old also said that the low pay for legislators, $13,000 a year for half a year's exhaustive effort. What, sitting on your fat ass and making rules for everybody else is exhaustive? Come on. It's like me saying that making these videos is exhaustive. It's not. I gotta read a bunch of shit and come up with some sort of idea with what my subject's gonna be, and then I go with it. There is no exhaustive work in politics. You might have long hours, but you're sitting on your ass in front of a computer or running your mouth. So, how is that exhaustive? And $13,000? Goddamn, no wonder the politicians take bribes. And she says to serve in this state requires sacrifice. Literally even financial sacrifice. It is a system set up for the wealthy and the retired. Well, I'm surprised she didn't say the white. Maybe that's what she means by the wealthy, but I'm not going to assume that. Anyway, it's just another example of the desperation of these people. They are very desperate for attention, and they're very desperate to make things look like they are worse than they really are for them. That's how I see it. Anyway, I thought I would share this stupidity with you because we are living in a world plagued by stupid people doing stupid things, which is why I pray every day for a huge, huge mass casualty event. You know, a natural one where maybe Yellowstone erupts or a asteroid hits the planet, something like that. And I'm not no homicidal maniac or anything like that, but I do see that the more stupid people we pack into our cities and into our communities, the worse off we're going to be. And that's exactly what has happened. Look at Detroit, look at all of these what used to be thriving places turned into third world shitholes. So, that's what happens when you have a bunch of stupid people running things. You get shitholes like Detroit, Flint, some of the places in California. And you know, you can see this in Latin America, the stupid people down there. You can see it in Africa, the stupid people there. They can't even build build a civilization that's worth a damn. So, you know, maybe I was wrong about this whole population control thing. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is necessary to get rid of stupid people so that everybody else has a decent fucking life. Anyway, hope y'all have a good day. Till next time, kill the state, live free.